afternoon, everyone. We welcome you to this panel discussion, which eventually is also the last panel discussion of the year 2022. In this panel discussion, we would be talking about the events that Grazitti has been a part of in 2022 as sponsors. And a few of us have also been there as speakers. So welcome to this panel discussion, Grazitti at Global Events in 2022. With us today, we've got Mayank, who's a quality-oriented QA program manager with more than 13 years of experience. That's a lot of experience in QA and automation. You were able to attend Dreamforce, StarWest, and SauceCon. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Amit, a senior technical manager with 16 years of experience in the information product and service industries. You were able to attend Forrester B2B Summit Singapore and Being Future Fit in New Delhi. Welcome. Thank you. Right next to me, we've got Harshdeep, a lead data analyst at Grazitti. She's a Tableau certified and a gold medalist from IIT Pune, with an experience of around 8 years in marketing and sales analytics. You were able to attend Forrester B2B Summit Singapore. Last but not the least, we've got Mukul Bansal, a team lead in sales, and he was able to attend HubSpot Inbound, Dreamforce, Forrester's TNI back in Sydney. Welcome, Mukul.
Thank you.
Cool. Let's begin then. So the first question that I have is for all of you. And I'm sure, a lot of people might have asked you this before as well. How was it for you all to attend the events in 2022? And which was a standout event for you, respectively?
So let me start, because this was a unique event, which was more focused on the market research. So this was the analyst research event, which happened in Singapore and Delhi both.
Sure.
I think such kind of events which are based on the market research, it really help us as an organization to create or recreate our strategies. To be precise, our go-to-market strategy, that which are the services or products we need to focus upon, which areas or geography, because we got a lot of insights over there by the researchers of Forrester and the audience, which included the CEOs, the CIOs, the CFOs, and the CMOs, that how Indian market is getting more robust in terms of opportunities and prospects. And apart from Indian territory, which are the other geographies we should focus upon, which is Australia, China, US, and Middle East. So such kind of insights and exposures, actually help us to focus or to refocus, I would say.
Same lines. I attended the same event as Amit and Ankit did Forrester's. So it was a great opportunity to network with marketing leaders and understand from the Forrester analysts that what is happening in the B2B marketing landscape and how we can actually leverage the sort of insights into probably analytics, marketing automation, digital marketing, and various areas that we are expanding into. And this event particularly was focused on APAC market. As Amit rightly pointed out, that India is way ahead, and we could see from their data that India is second largest in various aspects. And Australia follows a bit of similar model to what is there in the US, rather than what is there in other APAC region. That was one of the key findings we got from their analyst sessions that we attended.
For me, it was a bit mixed experiences, because when SauceCon was early in the year, most of the events were virtual, and SauceCon was virtual as well. But as a speaker, I got to give to the world that what Grazitti has to offer. And then I got to interact with many different people and got to know what actually is going on in the testing world. So that was my main intention of going into that event. But by the time we reached Dreamforce, HubSpot, and all these events, StarWest, it was more about meeting in person, and that was an altogether different experience. And Dreamforce especially is like a big event, and that was like a very different experience for me personally. I got to learn a lot. I got to meet a lot of different people. I got to meet some of my old friends as well. So yeah, so Dreamforce and Starwest similarly, it was kind of a homecoming for me because I'd already attended that event
Yeah.
in my previous organization. So Starwest was again an amazing experience as well.
Yeah, I would say other than these events, I mean, we can talk about HubSpot as well. So, post-pandemic, one of the very first events we attended as an organization there, and I would say the major takeaway from HubSpot as an event was like, I could see, the partner network there is, pretty raw. There's a lot that can be done from a partnership perspective, and people are still working on, building plugins with HubSpot.
Yeah.
Technically, there are a lot of possibilities with the platform, and then I would say talking to the analyst and the financial analyst there, what major I would say insight I got is that despite the expansion of HubSpot in the US region, they're eagerly looking at the APAC region in terms of they're considering that HubSpot would be the market over the APAC region because the SMB industry is a lot more in here. So we're eventually looking into expanding the partnership there. And these are the takeaways we.
And that's a great sign. Great sign for us. Mayank, congratulations because you got invited for SOSCON in 2022 as a speaker, and yet again, there are talks already for them to have you in 2023. You keep coming back to the marketing team to and fro, and you have a lot of suggestions for us to get involved in various events. What happens, within your team? What's the thought behind, when you come to us and suggest these amazing events?
Yeah, so first and foremost, how good it will add as a value add-on for Grazitti as a brand, and what's the brand exposure that these events would provide us. That's my first and foremost thought process. Secondly, what is the audience that we're going to cater there? Whether it is more decision makers or influencers, and what sort of an audiences might be attending this event. And lastly, the learnability of these events, like what sort of learnability can I bring back for myself and my team?
Fantastic. Harshdeep, how do you actually, kind of maximize the opportunities that you're able to generate once you have attended the event?
Yeah, right. So that is very important indeed. So not just networking over there, but we try to follow the people we met over the event via LinkedIn. We follow what activities they are into and how actually, if it's a competitor, what technology are they adapting into? If it's a customer, what challenges are they facing? Okay, so that we can pitch in at the right time, at the right place, and it becomes a opening point for us to engage again with them. Yeah, that's one thing that we keep very active on LinkedIn and pursue the opportunities.
Cool. So a lot of networking post-event as well through social media. Mukul, you have been to the most number of events this year from Grazitti's side. How do you find interacting with customers on calls versus the face-to-face connects over there? As in most of the calls that you are already part of, you already know the persona of that particular contact, which is totally different to the unknown in the physical events. How do you break the ice?
So I mean, when we are at the booth and we're basically looking to meet people. So I mean, we have our eyes on their badges in terms of which organization they are from. From the research we do pre-event in terms of the kind of people we are expecting to meet at the booth. Generally, it starts with the hi and a hello, but it basically depends in terms of quickly getting into the KPIs and the KRAs that particular person has as a part of the organization XYZ in terms of what brings them to the event. Once we are into it, then we have to be able to quickly get into a mode wherein we can relate to the industry they are from, share insights in terms of people we are working with, the competitors we are working with, similar business problems that we have solved. And then during events, we have subject matter experts like Mayank, Atul, or Amit with us who can share insights in terms of how we can take care of that business problem. And eventually, the motive is like we can get a virtual connect or an in-person connect, during the event or after the event, where we can get deeper into the technical business needs, and then accordingly pursue it from there.
That's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Amit, as per your thinking, how do you think that events as a platform for any organization to kind of put themselves out in the market?
So events are really, really important. I think, that gives us a wonderful opportunity and exposure to represent ourselves to the world, that whatever we are doing in whatever business vertical or business domains, because we have a lot to showcase as an organization, because that's the fact also that Grazitti is into a lot many things.
Yeah.
And now, once we are a speaker in an event or maybe an attendee, specifically speakership, when I say, being a speaker, that's gives a lot more opportunity as compared to as an attendee, because we have a stage
Yeah.
to address. We have our own kind of a freedom to let the world know that, okay, what we are into, because we can showcase a lot of things at the same point on that particular common stage. That's the reason B2B events or market events are really, really important for us as compared to the technology event. Technology, where we can focus on our particular expertise. Market events and B2B events are very generic, where we get a stage to speak about ourselves in different dimensions, actually. So yes, of course, it gives a lot of exposure to us. Events are really important because it depicts our brand value. We as a brand, not as one particular vertical, but as a whole.
Yeah, it basically just to add, it basically helps us get some insights in terms of what our competitors are doing as well.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of new products and the same technology are available, and areas where we can tap in. So it not only allows us to have our branding and communicate with the customers, but also understand the competition in the market as well.
Thank you were there at SOSCON, as I mentioned earlier. How did you plan for the session, and how was it for you to get those MQLs free of cost? Because we were not there as a sponsor, but you were invited as a speaker. So yeah.
So obviously a lot of background teams helped me, the content team, the design team, the marketing team in setting up my portfolio and everything. So all kudos to the background teams for helping me out there. I might have been just the front face, but a lot many efforts back end. And additionally, so the thought process was that my session is there, but my intention was to meet as many people as possible, so that I can, maybe do an outreach with them after the event or during the event. And I made a lot of connections on LinkedIn. I still try and pitch them Grazitti now as well. So I'm working with sales and inside sales to get those leads converted as soon as possible. But yeah, that was the main thought process, to meet as many people as possible.
You have my respect. Keep doing that, and fingers crossed for your conversations, for the ongoing conversations.
Sure.
Harshdeep, what are the three topmost elements or outcomes that you feel that be generated to an event or should be generated to an event?
Right. One foremost, what I believe is brand awareness or brand promotion, that we are representing Grazitti as a brand in any event that we attend. So that's the core crux that we have to focus on. We just are not the individuals over there. We are a brand, and we are trying to create space into that area where we are landing as an as a person, so that people know what our products and services are, how we are doing, what services we are offering to our clients, and what sort of good work we have already done, and obviously the testimonials. So brand awareness and promotion is one. Second, we have already been talking about networking. So these events provide a good platform wherein we can have good networks over there. We get to know competitors as well as customers. So we have the potential customers, I would say, not the customers. There are existing customers also who visit over there, but sometimes they are focused into one area. So we have that a space over the event wherein we can expand our virtues and not just limit ourselves to one area. That's a second thing, networking. That's very important. Then the third is, technology and economic trends. So what is happening in various regions, various industries. So every economic, for example, pandemic just impacted the businesses at various places, whereas IT had a good boom, right? So that was a global pandemic. So it was very evident, but there are minor or other micro, economic indicators that keep on happening at various regions. So how exactly we can trap an opportunity and be there into that region, not just focus ourselves into the US or one particular region. So that's another thing. And what is happening in the technology, because it's ever evolving. Sitting here in India, probably we might not know. We just know the area where we are working on. Maybe we are reading the news, but going there and experiencing ourselves, that's something really important. These are the three factors that I love.
Great points. Thank you. All right. So next up is a fun question, and that is for everyone. What was your favorite part or the moment? It could be related to any of the events.
So first and foremost favorite part was again learning so many different things. I got to feature in Salesforce video. That was something fun. And then meeting my old friends. I got to meet 2-3 old friends from different organizations, and obviously the team I went with. They were super accommodating, and they made my first trip in Grazitti like super successful.
I'd say, so at the Dreamforce, I was, when we are at the booth, we're looking at, the badges for different people passing by, just to know, okay, if you come across a familiar organization or you come across someone from a customer account, but you're not working with that particular contact, but you've already read the LinkedIn and you're like, okay, if this guy comes through, I'm certainly going to go in and pitch hard. So, so I saw a badge and I'm like, I started the conversation, the person followed through, and I'm pitching in. It's been 5 minutes into the conversation. And I'm like, I've had a telephonic conversation with this guy. I remember each and everything out of it, but he's not responding the way he should be. So 5 minutes into the conversation, he's like, okay, let me tell you, I'm not this guy. I'm just wearing his badge. Okay. Eventually, that guy was the senior VP. So, I would say he registered for the event, but the next day he basically shared his pass with some, some junior person just to, roam around and reinforce. So I was like, he's not able to answer the business questions or my problem. So that was kind of fun.
That's good to know for us because, most of the times when we kind of shortlist an event, we are judicially deciding which pass should be given to whom. So thank you for letting me know that. I now know that Salesforce security is not that tight.
I think that's very much common in all the events. That's how we were playing around. I was there, Harshdeep was there, and Pankaj was there from the digital marketing team. So we were actually targeting people that, okay, we want to talk to someone because that person was a CEO and person was a CFO. We attended the seminar, the lecture, which was given by that particular person. So now actually we framed particular, list of people that whom we need to approach because we were looking for some opportunities. So, okay, we divided people among ourselves. Harshdeep, that's your target. Okay, Pankaj, that's your target. Amit, that's your target.
Yeah.
Let's see who's able to crack that target because we just wanted to talk to them. Maybe not from a conversion perspective, but they delivered their performance so well. They were actually talking so much of sense. We were so much attracted to talk to them.
Yeah. Sure.
And just to add to this, some of the games at the booths, specific booths, that kind of added the appealing factor. Like when one of the booth had a pure basketball set for them. At Star West, one of them had the VR games, so that was kind of an appealing set for them. And I think I gave you this feedback as well that next time we should have some game at our booth.
Yeah, actually, this was there in Foresters also. The booth just corresponding to us. So Pankaj and I went there and tried that as well. We also collected goodies from them. But yeah, that was another fun moment. But eventually, the badges that we are talking about, we look at the badges and we target, make our target. So, and same thing happened at Forester, and it was a closed event. We can say their limited camping was there. So that was the only way we could see it. And obviously, apart from knowing the audience, so that's how we were targeting people. Somebody's at the coffee or working. We never cared what the other person is doing. So we respect their time, but at the same time, we also had this in mind that we have to talk with as much people as we can. So we try to pitch in wherever they are. So that, okay, let's have a quick conversation and, chat around or things like that. So that was too much, I would say, towards the end, especially the second day, wherein we thought, okay, this is the only way that we can go, let's do it. So the way we were doing it, that was more of a fun moment for me.
More than us, I think Manish was along with us, so Manish was okay. Pankaj, did you catch hold of that lady in the red suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's already in our bucket list, okay? Don't worry about it.
I remember
I
that.
remember the green jacket lady.
We're discussing costumes. Cool. So, man, 80% or maybe 90% of our customers happen to be from US. And which is why it makes perfect sense for Grazitti to sponsor and attend, so that number of events in US. I'm sure, you might have interacted with sales team and with the senior management. What are the other geographies that you feel or that Grazitti to target now?
So in my opinion, I think ANZ and APAC are growing areas, growing regions, and we should look into these regions. Specifically taking a cue from this latest Salesforce event, wherein they called out that they would be expanding into these regions in 2023, and they're kind of putting a slowdown in the US specific region. And just to add on to this, we did attend Seamless Dubai this year, targeting the Middle East areas region. So that area or that region is also something that we can maybe look into. But obviously, this should be sales driven, obviously, because we should see which region gives us the most credibility and most impact in terms of revenue as well. But in terms of technology, I feel these three regions should be our target.
Sure. Amit, this one's for you. How do you think that the various teams that work together help us in churning out the maximum when we actually get to that particular location?
Yeah, so okay, most of the time we focus on the ROIs or the conversions because that's more economical, the data-driven part.
Yeah.
But I see it from a different perspective also, as Mike already gave kudos to other teams, in similar lines, because I never felt that I'm alone there. Because although the events I participated along with Harshdeep, Pankaj, Manish, yourself, Fargad and his team, so I think 6 different verticals would have been involved. So that was really, really important. Someone took care of our travel, someone took care of our collaterals, the brochures, the visiting cards. Someone made us ready to present ourselves, our company as a brand. So teamwork is really, really important, and I would really like to thank you as an organizer for these Forrester events, which happen in Singapore and Delhi, of course, because you also and your analyst, the channel partner, the counterpart, they acted as a deal consultant for us because and of course the sales team whenever they're available. This time Manish was there in the Forrester event, Mukul went to HubSpot, and Hari went to the Salesforce event. So I think it really helps us because we as an expert or as an SME, we can talk and deliver about the technology most of the time, maybe multiple technologies. But now there has to be some preparation done, when we are representing.
Sure.
So marketing team, I would really like to thank because, they are organizing so many events at the same time. They are making the picture perfect in terms of right kind of a content should be there. Content team is there, design team is there, travel desk is there. So I would really like to thank all of them.
Big thanks to you all as well from my side, from the marketing teams. Mukul, so once an event is done, it's over. Once you're back to India, what is the process and what are the next steps for you guys to work on?
So once the event is over, it basically depends on, I would say, how the travel plans are basically made. Generally, we tend to keep a week, stay there a week after the event as well, so that in case we manage to get any in-person connects, so we can go and cater to those particular prospects then and there. Generally, at the event as well, if we talk about the number of people we are meeting, so it's a mix of prospects and customers that we are meeting.
Sure.
So in-person connects with customers are, I would say, easier. In-person connects with prospects are majorly referral based. So at times, if I had a good conversation with a prospect, wherein I find a common LinkedIn connection in a customer, so I would try and meet the customer asking for a referral with that particular prospect. Once in terms of the leads and I would say the database that we create there, so that actually goes through filters in terms of we divide them by geography. So only the sales team would be taking care of that. Then we divide that in terms of the industry and, basically decide that, if a senior sales guy or a junior sales guy will be taking care of it eventually. And then this other subset of data that basically goes down to the lead generation team in terms of, they try and, set up an appointment. And I mean, that actually happens at the later part. Once the sales team has tried, it goes to the lead gen guys. They tried calling in and, we're able to get a waiting or something, gets back to sale. Otherwise, from their team, it gets into the marketing and then it goes into marketing and, it's joined. So that's how it's basically taken care of.
Thank you for that. Amit, so Grazitti has been hosting, 3 different events, flagship events, community refocus, marketing refocus, and Search Unify does support refocus. And this probably is for you all as well. You let them pitch in and share your thoughts. Should we just focus on these 3 events for now and kind of make it even more better? How have you seen these events evolving in the past couple of years?
Yeah, so we have done a lot till now in terms of organizing flagship events such as support refocus or community refocus, marketing refocus. So I think the focus should be developing more such flagship events, maybe online or offline. I think it really helps because we have evolved in terms of our audience, our content, the reach. We are, continuously we are evolving our reach. So more such events should happen. As offline also we talk about Mank and myself, and we are collaborating as different teams. So sales team, they are more focused on the referrals. So I think we have already created a bouquet of multiple events, whether offline or online, which includes flagship, which includes technology, which includes market, which includes B2B, a certain geography. Sales team, they have their own forte because referral works a lot.
Yeah.
Flagship works in its own manner. Online events, or maybe offline events, they work into a different manner. So we are targeting different, dimensions that, okay, we have to cater to a business through different means, through different modes as an organization, as a brand. But yeah, to answer your question, so the evolution has already happened now. We have covered a lot in terms of, enriching or improving our content and the audiences, the participants who are being part of such flagship events. So the number has to be increased for such kind of events where Grazitti is the organizer.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to add, I would suggest that, in terms of these flagship events around marketing, support, and communities. So on the marketing side, if we can basically, get, HubSpot to be a sponsor, if we can get Marketer to be a sponsor, some other product organizations, maybe, something like, Dell, Boomi. So, how to create these small plugins, like quick, easy products which actually help customers solve their problems. So, customer would be looking for that product, but, we can work as an implementation partner. So more partnerships on those areas. Similarly, as I spoke about HubSpot, so on the HubSpot side, if we collaborate with a few HubSpot partners, wherein, we are working on, we have an event by marketing refocus, and if they come in and they basically get some HubSpot audience wherein they get to pitch their product.
Yeah.
So eventually Grazitti can work on the services side of things there, and it actually helps us, broaden the horizon and maybe get more attendees. That's what I support, rather than having a 4th event, have 3 events, but let's try and increase the size of those events.
Noted. Great points there.
Going forward, I think as part of 2023 strategy, we are now focused on AI as well. So that can be one of our topics. And we should have a flagship event which is more focused towards AI. Mukul mentioned one of the technology partner, which we can think about. Automation Anywhere can be the other one, because that's our customer also, the Search Unify customer. Mank has been talking about
Partnering with them.
Yeah.
Fast Labs is
So those kind of flagships can be done along with these partners, or maybe we can create a partnership through these such kind of events, making a collaboration.
Cool. Co-partnered events.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes perfect sense. Harshdeep, even though you have attended only a few events this year, but what suggestions do you have for people, who will be traveling to various locations next year?
Okay, from my experience, I'd say it's really important to know the audience. Okay, what event are you going into? Know the what, whys, and hows of the event. You should be very much prepared about it, and also go with a bit of open mind to grasp as much as you can from the event. Not just restrict yourself to your knowledge. Let's get more out of the event. Okay, and never restrict yourself to interact over there, be it your peers, be it industry leaders, be it C-level executives, be it junior people. Do interact. Every conversation leads into something, either a learning or a lead, right? So never miss that opportunity, and prepare a bit of speak up for yourself, like introduction maybe, or for Grazitti. Bit of lines, not don't just exaggerate anything, but just to start the conversation so that it's interesting one. So it could be anything based on your personality, but it should be prepared really well. Right, so,
Very important point.
Yeah. Mukul, this is the last question. This is for you. You've attended the most number of events, as I quoted earlier as well. What are the key learnings that you would like to mention here for our viewers or for the internal teams?
I mean, from a perspective of attending events, I would say, the opportunity in India, when, as Harshdeep mentioned, when you're attending an event, so, one thing we have to make sure is that we have to be prepared in terms of, the technology or the industry we're getting to in the event. So, other than that, we need to keep our eyes and ears open in terms of, the question is not exactly how you interpret it. So, there are 10 different ways to answer a question.
Yeah.
Be ready with, some short one-liners, two-liners, using which you can introduce yourself quickly. Because at the event, when you're meeting someone in person, it's about hearing more than speaking more. So, the more the prospect will speak, the more you get to know about the problem.
Sure.
The aim is not to tell them who we are. The aim is to know what problem they're facing. So, once we're discussing the problem, then, we are into consultative selling. Before that, we're just pitching. So as soon as we can, get beyond that barrier, so, we are more closer to acquiring the customer.
Sure. Thank you so very much. And it was a pretty amazing session for me as well. I'm noting down some pointers that I'm sure I'm going to discuss those with my seniors and try and host or pull off few of the co-partner events that Mukul and Amit mentioned about. Thank you so very much. With this, we have come to the end of this wonderful panel discussion. I would like our viewers to know that for 2023, we have planned around 15 to 20 events. If the recession ends pretty soon, we would be in for a real treat, and a lot of our folks will be getting fantastic exposure. I thank you again for tuning in, and Merry Christmas to all of you. And I just hope you guys have a fantastic New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.